So what is the minimum volume that I think a person could do and to still get really great results in terms of muscle growth? And when I say this, I'm just going to be honest. I don't think most people can pull it off. Okay, and that is one of the take homes here. People think that they train hard, who really don't. I've watched them. They don't train hard. They're not focused on every rep. And so when I make this statement, people are like, but I do train hard. Then you watch them, they'll even do volume squats, but then they just do grindy, crappy reps and then think that's hard training, right? Form breaking down is not hard training, right? Needing up so much pre-workout and having spotters slap you so that you can try to grind through crappy reps isn't hard training. Hard training is taking sets right to the bleeding edge of failure with perfect form. Okay, and actually getting longer ranges of motion at the bottom, things like that. And again, I've seen guys who try to do these lower volumes and like, I didn't make any progress at all, and they're not even advanced. And then you see their training, and it's like you're kind of lazy. They think that if they do a really slow eccentric, that they're training hard. And then you look, and it's like they're literally slowing it down so much they're skipping the bottom of exercises. No, hard training is getting in and focusing, getting very close to failure, taking your sets to failure, and getting quality reps, quality sets, okay, to where we are hitting the muscles we want to hit. So that's the context for that. And if you need a pre-workout or whatever, or someone slapping you to get through that, you're probably not really training hard enough consistently to do these sort of volumes. But I think it's about 6 sets a week per muscle. I think it can absolutely be done. Assuming maybe for most muscles, three sets from really good exercises, a big compound, and then maybe a smaller movement, a smaller compound movement, or an isolation. So, and then hitting your weak links. So an example could be, say, someone could do this as a push-pull legs 3 days a week. Okay, 3 days a week. A perfect example, let's say a push would be basically pushing muscles in their shoulders. Okay, they could come in, do 3 really hard sets of flat bench, close to failure. You could also do a training max at the start of any of these. All right, 3 really hard sets of wide grip bench press. And then 3 sets of an auxiliary press. It could be a dumbbell press, it could be an incline bench. 3 sets of triceps, 3 sets for their delts, and get out. Okay, everything's been hit. Keeping in mind, you're going to hit the rear delts and then a little bit of side delt again on your pull day. So 1 good shoulder exercise. Okay, 1 good tricep exercise. And that shoulder exercise, it could be an upright row, it could be a lateral. I mean, it could be an overhead press if you're able to get the side head doing that. Sure, absolutely. We mean for a pull day, very straightforward. Pull-ups and rows, right? Or some variation of them. 3 sets of each. And do some bicep exercises. If you really have weak biceps, you might take it up to 2 different types of curls. If not, 1 type of curl. Okay. You could do a deadlift single right before that. Even though it's technically a back day, you could do something like that. But yeah, pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. Some sort of row. Okay, it could be a barbell row, dumbbell row. And then get in and hit some really hard curls. The curls would need to be to failure. If you're only going to do 3 sets of curls here, they better be to failure. And they better be full range of motion. All right? You could throw in some 4th exercise, whether it's a 2nd type of curl, something for the rear delts. Right? Depending upon where you're weakest at, that would absolutely work. Leg day, because you're going to have to work calves in. It's going to be a little different. This would be probably the hardest day because you're going to need quads and hamstrings. But it should be the hardest day. If you're only going to have 1 leg day a week, it better be hard. All right, 3 sets of really hard squats. Okay. And by really hard, I don't mean rest, pause, and then forward lean and crappy form. I'm talking really hard sets of squats. And if you fail on a squat, you better fail straight down. So that's the dead giveaway if someone can even use squats in this capacity. If they jerk forward and they have this massive forward lean and the form looks different and they grind through, they can't do squats on this sort of day. If they just fail a lift and they get stapled straight down while keeping their chest up, they can probably get away with squats on a day like this. Some hard sets of squats, possibly the last set to failure. Okay. Alternatively to that, they could do a leg press or a belt squat, but they better be hard. Full range of motion, deep. A lot of these could be done with some sort of hamstring movement, supersetted between, right? That's totally doable. Completely doable. Back, we're not chasing maxes here. They could do it between squats. Definitely do it between a leg press or a belt squat. So a hamstring movement of some type, and then a leg extension. Could they alternatively do a squat and then some sort of other bigger machine for quads? Sure, they could do that too. Absolutely, that's doable. But failing that, one big movement in the leg extension could actually work. Then some sort of glute ham raise or leg curl supersetted between that first movement, possibly. And again, you could superset stuff through this day to make it a little easier. So either a hamstring movement could be supersetted or calves could be supersetted. But you need 2 posterior chain exercises, right? Preferably working both angles. It's another reason I suggested possibly the leg extension for the quads. And then some sets for calves, right? Depending on what you have access to, a standing and a seated. So, 6 sets for everything. Yeah, that could absolutely be done. So 6 sets quads, 6 sets hamstrings. The glutes and adductors get hit by default. And then calf work, right? They could do that. If you push all of that hard enough, yeah, you could make actually really good gains. Again, the problem is people don't know what training hard is. Training hard doesn't mean you get psyched up and grind some crappy reps. I'm talking pushing hard reps with good form and full range of motion. Okay. Is it doable? Yeah, it could absolutely be done. Would a lot of people make great gains doing this 3 days a week? They absolutely can. Absolutely can. But in order for something like this to work, every rep has to be really good. Every set has to be really good. And it would require a lot of focus. And some people genetically, it's just not going to be enough for them, depending upon the person. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.